There's another thing that bothered me yesterday that happened in the NFL, and that is the fact that you can act like a jackass. You can get yourself kicked off the sideline in the middle of an NFL game, and you could wind up, in theory, in a better situation.
Yeah.
We shouldn't reward people like Robbie Anderson, and yet he got rewarded yesterday by being traded from Carolina, one dysfunctional mess, to Arizona, which is another dysfunctional mess, but it's a prettier place to live.
Definitely,
that's all it is,
definitely
right?
a prettier place to live.
Yeah.
That's where I live.
Right.
Wait,
All
I've
right.
been to Phoenix.
So, Robbie Anderson, as you see the video there, acting like a jackass on the sideline of another Carolina Panther loss because he's not getting the ball. The coach literally kicks him off the field, and 24 hours later, Carolina trades him because Marquise Hollywood Brown went down to an injury with Arizona.
Yeah.
I think you were talking with him this week, right?
Yeah, Marquise Brown is my dog. I actually train him in Arizona. So I actually checked on him, talked to him, and he said he's going to be out for a couple weeks, I think like 5 to 6 weeks with a foot injury. So, hey, this Cardinals offense is predicated on speed, right? So you lose Hollywood Brown, who's probably arguably one of the fastest guys in the National Football League. So, I don't know if Robbie knew Hollywood was going to get hurt, but he was like, it's time for me to act a fool because I know, that's going to happen. So send me, to Arizona.
I figured he was trying to get himself to Green Bay, to be honest.
You know what? I'm actually angry about that. I know, I know, as a Jets fan, you like, man, forget Robbie Anderson. I don't watch him play. But I was actually really hoping once I seen that, I kind of smiled like, I was never one of those guys who acted a fool. But I smiled because I'm like, he out of there, and I thought about my Packers.
Yeah. So I guess, listen, there's two sides to it.
But they pulled the trigger on it,
like,
man.
Carolina's going nowhere, so if you can get a draft pick for a guy that is now a problem in your locker room, I'm not saying that's bad business, but it's the manner in which Robbie went about it. Listen, Robbie does not have a great reputation dating back to college, and to his credit, he made himself a wealthy man and a legitimate NFL wide receiver.
And Robbie is a good player, but even the heat of the moment, I don't think Robbie went into that game like I'm an act a fool. I think, it's one of those where quarterback ain't getting me the ball. I'm extremely frustrated. We've been getting beat up in every single game, right? You get into it with your receiver coach, right? I've seen this happen time after time after time, right? And you see this happen. Now, I don't necessarily see people get kicked off the field all the time.
Which means he said something that you can't say.
Which means he said something, or, Coach Wilkes heard something like, man, we ain't dealing with that no more. But even Coach Wilkes, like, you're an interim head coach, right? So you want to make sure that you leave your mark on it. Eventually you want to try to get back to be a head coach, right? So get all the cancers out of there. I need to go out here with the guys that believe in me, that I believe in. Robbie, if you don't, get on, you know what I mean? Get on to Arizona, and I think you're going to do really well.
Yeah, then that's the thing. Like,
With all that being said, I think Robbie's going to ball out.
Listen, if he goes to a situation where, he thinks it's more competent, maybe, better quarterback play, more dynamic offensive game plan, I just don't like the fact that he was rewarded for acting like a baby. Like, we shouldn't reward guys for being jackasses on the sideline. We should tell them, listen, it's a privilege to play in the NFL. It ain't a right. And as soon as you blow that privilege up, we shouldn't reward a guy by sending him to a nicer place. And that's all they did.
I'm with you on that, man, and I hope my kids just heard what you said, you know what I mean? Because that's how I raised my kids. All that pouting and whining and all that stuff that you doing, man, hey, do that in the car.
Right.
But right now, but right now, man, this is how we go about it.
What would you prefer them to do instead, though? Trade him? You can either suspend him, trade him, or bench him. What would you rather do?
You got to get him out of there, but I just think he's basically saying the way it happened.
That's not how we should handle it. But I get it, it's the NFL. And to be fair, we probably should have known that it wasn't going to work out with Robbie Anderson this year, dating all the way back to the summertime, because he had a tough time figuring out who his own mascot was. He thought the Carolina Panther mascot was a bear. I want to be sure we're on the same page on this. Is that a bear? You play for the Panthers, you knucklehead.
He sounded like me when I didn't know baseball didn't play in the rain.
I ain't lying. By the way, I'm glad you called yourself out on that one.
He sounded like me, man.
And don't think just because we're smiling, there's still not a divide here, because there is a divide here. I'm building a wall. That being said, in addition to getting Robbie Anderson over there, DeAndre Hopkins returns, and they play Thursday night, by the way.
Help is on the way.
Yeah, they're playing against the New Orleans Saints on Thursday night. Listen, I don't think you've ever, changed teams middle of the season.
No.
But how long does it take a guy to acclimate? If you're Robbie Anderson, as we get ready for Thursday night, Hop comes back. He knows the offense.
Yeah.
But does it take a game or two for him?
It's going to be very simple for him, right? You got go ball, you got curl. You know, that's all we need right now. And then we'll give you a little bit more and a little bit more each week, right? But people always go crazy with all these offenses and all that. Every offense is the same, just different
names,
verbiage.
right?
That's it. It's the same. So with Robbie, the way I used to learn it when I went from the Packers to the Raiders, I'm like, okay, it might be called Denver over here, right? It's called Tampa and Oakland. You know,
right. You just got to figure out the names.
You got to figure it out. But early, right, to get him to play fast, you have go ball, you have curl. That's it. Maybe a hitch. You know, Hopkins come back, get his legs under him. He's going to be fine, knows the offense. But they are going to make it very simple for Robbie. And they brought him out there for one reason, right? You can run. We need you to stretch this thing down the football field. Hopkins will do all the dirty work underneath.
It is funny. He leaves one franchise that already fired his head coach, Matt Rule, and he goes to another franchise, even though they gave Kingsbury a 4-year, $20-some-odd million extension, so $5 million plus a year. He's embattled. He's on the hot seat right now, and he was asked about giving up the offensive play calling. Kingsbury, you're making $5 million this year.
For now.
It's going to be okay. Like, that's what the NFL does to you, though, when your offense isn't playing well.
And as I'm looking at that still picture, what he wanted to say was, hell no. I'm calling these plays. I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't even know why you asked me that question, but I'm going to answer it anyway in a professional manner. But this team was the hottest team in football last year, especially even scoring the ball. Like, everybody was talking about the Arizona Cardinals, right? You get in the playoffs, you lay an egg. You come into this season, everybody's like, this is the Cardinals division. Like, right now, I put a lot of this on Kyler.
You have to. He's the quarterback.
I put a lot of it on Kyler. Like, at the end of the day, right, I coach Little League, as y'all know. Players win games.
Yes.
Period. Players win games. The Jets are winning games right now because great play calling? No, because they are winning games. Players win games. Sauce is making plays. Williams is coming through there making plays. That ain't no special defensive call. That's I'm better than you. I'm a really good player. Players make plays. Kyler is not making plays right now.
Right.
Cliff ain't out there fumbling the ball and throwing interceptions. They're not making plays right now, period.
They also had a horrendous offseason. First, you have the DeAndre Hopkins situation where he ate something, drank something, whatever it was, so he gets suspended. Then you have the story that Kyler Murray, they try to put a clause in the contract. We actually want you to do your homework. Then that became a story. He may not want to play football, became a story. Then it was, I need you guys to, ride the bus with me. I can do whatever I want. Then it was, Kyler Murray's great. Kyler Murray stinks. Kyler Murray's great. Kyler Murray stinks. Like, it's been a soap opera there, and now someone has the guts to say to the head coach, who, by the way, invented the offense that they run specifically around the quarterback that he's known since the kid's 15 years old, and you say to the coach, well, are you the problem?
It's distraction.
Do you know anybody in your life, in the history of playing ball, where if they had said to you, are you the problem, where a guy would have been like, yeah, matter of fact, it's me.
Hey, be real with yourself.
Right?
Hey, look in the mirror and be real with yourself. But no, everybody needs to play better, but it starts with number one, right? We talk about this all the time. The quarterbacks are paid the big bucks. The quarterbacks are babied in this National Football League, right? You can't fall on them. You can't touch them with a finger, right? Because if you got good quarterback play, the NFL is better, right? Kyler Murray's not playing good football right now. I don't care. Coach Mike has given up the play calls before. I've been in there where we're not winning games, and Coach Mike well, let's try something new. The playbook's the same.
Yeah, well, hold on.
The playbook is the same.
Listen, it's a difference between a guy in his zone saying, you know what? Our offense isn't kicking on all cylinders. Cody, you call the plays. Yeah. Then being asked the question and now reacted to it. Like, if he gives up play calling for this game Thursday night against the Saints.
He better not.
He can't now. Now, if he did it on his own, just to change it up, again, it's the same playbook, that's one thing. When you react to the media asking about it and you do it, now there's blood in the water. And once there's blood in the water, you ain't long for the job.
Even with blood in the water, he's over there, I'll do anything to win. Man, the playbook, the new coach coming in there call the plays, he's not going to say, you know what, hey, we're going to switch this whole offense up. Whatever Cliff was doing, we're changing all the plays. It's not going to happen, right? At the end of the day, you just got to make the plays that there. And the good thing is they got a guy that's coming, that's going on the way to help, whether he drank something or not, that just throw the ball up.
Hey there, thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.